My brother, how are you?
What's up, man?
It's so good to see your face. How's it going?
Oh my God, it's going amazing. Oh, okay, sweet. Hold up,
So,
we got someone else joining us.
yeah, we're trying to have a moderator to help us with our comments because, yeah,
There.
but it's all good. How are you, brother?
I'm amazing, man. Yeah, I'm back home, Northwest Indiana. My grandfather from Puerto Rico, he's visiting the family right now. My cousin just had a kid. So
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, so we're all hanging out and kicking it. So good family week. I saw you getting people dancing, shaking their hips. I gotta see you perform, man. I was looking at your IG story.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, I had a wonderful time yesterday in Chicago at the Boathouse in Humboldt Park as part of a wonderful series that they do here called Summer Dance,
Nice.
and where they do different types of events in city parks here. And it was a wonderful time yesterday. It was such a great turnout. And yeah, man, don't mind me. I'm just grabbing my laptop so that I can
No, you're
really get
good,
this
dude. You're good.
popping.
It was packed. I was like, damn, I'm not surprised they came out when it was time to dance, Puerto
It
Rico.
was also a perfect day in terms of weather and things like that. It was beautiful.
That's
And the
awesome.
Boathouse is such a great venue. But yeah, enough about that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's Ellie, yeah.
Ellie, yeah,
I have the habit of saying Eli.
everyone else Eli. Latino community, Ellie, everyone else Eli. Yeah, it's all good.
Nice.
We're
What
Ellie
do you
here.
prefer?
It doesn't matter either one. So we go by Ellie.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. I'll do Ellie.
Yeah.
So welcome, welcome Ellie, welcome everyone to Cafecito with Flaco Navaja and Eli Vazquez. It's such an honor for me to have gotten this opportunity to have this conversation with you regarding steps to making your own film, talking about film in general. I'm so curious about your journey. And yeah, man, I'm super stoked to have this opportunity to talk to you. So today we're talking. This is Latinos, Latines in the field, steps to making your film, and I want to give our esteemed guest a proper introduction. And yeah, so Eli Vazquez is a writer, director, entrepreneur, and digital storyteller. Proud Afro-Mexican from the Chi. Awesome. What neighborhood did you grow up in Chi?
Well, that's the thing. We bounced around everywhere. So like it was pretty much mainly like Northwest Indiana, and then
Mm-hmm.
South Side. It was literally like a U. It was like South Side, like south of Pilsen. Me and my mom's. Then we would move back to Northwest Indiana, East Chicago, Hammond, like the region area, and then back to over there. It's like between the two grandmas. There was the Mexican grandma, Puerto Rican grandma. It was
Love
just
it.
her. So we were just like bouncing back and forth. So
Best of both worlds. Awesome. So Eli is a former producer of BuzzFeed's Latinx digital brand Pero Like, as well as the founder and CEO of the production company Hype Media House and the social media brand coaching program Self Hype, a recent Netflix and LALIFF. So that is the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival. Yes?
you're better than me, and I did a whole 6 month thing with them. I have to still like look it up. I'm like, yeah, Los Angeles. Yeah,
It sounds about right.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so he's a recent Netflix and Latino, Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival fellow. And Eli's mission is to create diverse and inclusive stories in worlds we have never seen before. So let's give everyone, let's give a IG clap, applause in your crib for the one and only Eli Vazquez. Very much a pleasure to finally kick it with you. I've been following you for quite some time, and yeah, man, Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have a little sip of my cafecito real quick.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I had to travel last minute, so unfortunately I don't have my mug, but they're very good mugs. If you guys get your chance, get yourself a mug.
Yes. Yeah, so this is all part of a youth, through CINE Youth Film Festival. So I implore everyone that's watching today and as part of this conversation to check out our IG page and the link on the page that has our website so that we can have more submissions, and there is some awesome things that are happening. And these conversations that are happening are part of this film festival. And so today we're talking about filmmaking. We're talking about independent filmmaking. We're talking about making your own film and steps to do so. Filmmaking is rarely problem-free, right? And a cell phone rings, ruining a particularly dramatic moment, the cloud shift to cover the sun, changing the lighting you want to see for the scene. A key actor arrives late and underprepared, or many film industry newcomers think like I could fix it in post.
Yeah, that's the number one thing you don't want to say, even though they'll say it to this day because budgets and everything else. But yeah, you're right. That's the words we try to stay away from. But yeah, you're totally hitting on the head with that.
Awesome. Can you share some examples of unanticipated issues that have arrived during shooting and that you've experienced, and how did you address these?
Oh man, I think it's kind of like you said, rarely there's issues. I'll just say there's always issues. Like you could prepare, especially indies, like any level of the game, like $100 million blockbusters, there's problems. It's just like you got to think there's so many moving parts, and we're a people business, so people and situations and things fluctuate, and you just have to pivot and you have to be open. You almost have to, I prepare for the worst case scenario. So I could give you so many examples of things going wrong. So I made a film last year, Quince to Infinity. Two rebellious teens escape quinceañera and steal a car and raise hell in LA. And then I made one with the Netflix Fellowship, two different budgets, but they all had their own individual problems. And, with Quince, we planned for like a month to shoot in a park in Los Angeles with the whole cityscape and view and all that. And literally days before we're shooting, they say, oh, there's a Dodgers game. You can't shoot that day. You have to reschedule. I was like, we already put everything in order. Like we put so many things, but we had to switch the days, we had to switch the schedule, switch it all around and just do it. And then with the Netflix one, we had such a fast turnaround. I literally had a 1-page idea to a final cut. And so we started in January with just the idea, started writing. And then we had to send out a final cut in May. So we had to write a whole movie, shoot a whole movie, edit a whole movie, and send it out for the premiere by May. So that had so many number of issues. If it's, not enough budget, or a location fell through and all that. So essentially, the biggest thing you have to do is plan for things to go wrong. It's like I think a smart filmmaker has a plan A, B, C, D, and E, because you'll end up using plan G. That's usually how it works. It's like, I've had so many plans for each scene, because I'm like, okay, if we run out of time, then we could do this. And then if we really run out of time, then we could do that. And then I end up doing even another whole thing that I didn't even plan. But because I planned so much and I prepped for that, it helped me stay creative and stay in the moment and stay having fun with it. The big thing is, as a director, you don't want to be overwhelmed and overzealous and stressed, because if you're stressed, then the whole crew's stressed. So you want to be able to,
that makes complete sense.
In that space. So overall, plan for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because things will...
That's amazing, because that kind of was the segue to my next question was, do you have a type of system for planning how to make your films.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything will go wrong, and plan for that, and then have a plan for everything possibly go wrong. Because then the thing that you don't expect to go wrong will end up going wrong. But at least you're already in the mindset of problem solving. I think that's what it is. It's, as filmmakers, we try our best to put what's in our mind on screen. And we know, an experienced filmmaker knows it's never going to be what's in our mind. So get it as close as what our vision is as much as possible, because it will be its own beast by the time it's. So you just have to love it enough, you know, build it through all the elements to love it. So yeah.
This is great. What are some of the planning pitfalls that a young filmmaker should look out for?
Yeah. I mean, you have to realize that no one cares about your film as much as you do. Even your producer says, yeah, let's make it, let's do this. Even like the day ones of like, yeah, no one's ever gonna love your movie as much as you. And I don't say that as a bad thing. It's just like, it's like your kid. Everyone thinks the kid's cute. They want to play with the kid. But at the end of the day, they don't want to
give it back.
Wake up at 3 a.m. and then, you know, so you're going to be the one that is going to have to pay attention to everything, especially in the beginning stages, because you're going to be doing so many different hats as a new director coming up, new filmmaker coming up. So you have to be aware that your team's there to support you, and you have to make sure you all are making the same movie. And I say that in have meetings. I don't care if you're a crew of 3 people, have meetings and go through page by page of what your vision is, what the storyboards are, what the movie is. And I promise you, you will save so much time and money, and you'll be surprised the type of movie that your camera guy thinks he's making, but in reality, what they're making. So, yeah.
That makes so much sense, and that's super smart, because you're maintaining everyone on the same page, and like you said, your vision is your vision, and to be able to translate to everyone and have them kind of share that same vision is key to making a good film.
Exactly.
Cool. What was your introduction to film? What was your original inspiration to create your own content?
Yeah, man. I honestly think, like, I always say this, is like, and I do with my coaching too, is like the worst days of our lives are like the best days of our lives, because that's when we deal with adversity and learn who we are. And usually those are the days our life changes forever. And I will say I lived the Fresh Prince life, where I got in one little fight. My mom got scared and moved out of the hood in Northwest Indiana and moved to like a nicer area in Indiana, where like, yeah, I got hit in the face over an iPod. And I was like skateboarding in the projects, stupid. And I got in a fight over my iPod. Mom came, cops were there, it was a whole thing. And she's like, screw this, we're out. And the school system that I was in, they didn't really care about you. They saw me as just a Puerto Rican kid that ain't gonna be nothing, never amount to anything. The school system sucked. There's no resources there. You know, they really just gave up on you. And I was a sophomore at the time, and I remember we moved to this other school, and the school had resources and guidance counselors who actually gave a crap. And one thing they did have was a TV class. And I was a really nervous kid. I was really shy. I was really quiet. But I always knew I was like creative. So I was always like, man, I really want to do this TV class, because you could make music videos and you could like do skits and you could, you know, do a whole thing. And again, the worst days of our lives, the best days of our lives. And so me getting beat up got me to this opportunity. But also my sister got sick, got diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia around my senior year. And she beat it. We're so blessed to have her. She's 18 and still slamming doors. Yeah, she's the best. But that was the moment where like, life is short. I have to do this. So I joined that TV class, and I made the first project I made. I was so stressed out. We did Beastie Boys, check it out. But we made the music video to that, but it was me and my friends. We dressed up as Ghostbusters, and we had to like save a girl from like a demon in her garage. So
Okay.
ran around. We went to Goodwill. We built the outfits. We broke old Xboxes to make the backpacks, and we ran around the neighborhood. And we grabbed my mom's vacuum cleaner tubes, and we put fireworks in them, and we're like shooting them off and all that. It's like, it's on YouTube. It's ridiculous, but
I love it. I'm
yeah,
gonna have to go watch that.
so I was so stressed out. I was never been that stressed in my life, and I was like in my mom's garage doing all of it. And I was like, you know what? I'm this stressed, and there's nothing else I want to do for the rest of my life. And I knew at like 18, literally, like, this is it. Like, this is it. And so that took a lot of shapes and forms with Better Like and digital and everything else. But I never lost that. And I got very blessed to know what I wanted at a really young age. So
I can totally relate to that completely. Do you find yourself more interested in narratives as opposed to, let's say, documentaries, or what's your style per se? Or do you feel like you've found it, or is it in flux? Like, you know, where is it now? Because I'm sure it can change as we grow.
Totally. I think the mission always stayed the same, of wanting to tell narrative, scripted stories, like comedy, dramedies. But that the stories change as you grow up. You kind of learn about life more. You realize how messed up the world is a little bit. You're able to like go deeper in your writing and your storytelling. But like I always say, like, I'm from the Midwest, dude. I always like say, like, I'm like a Chili's on the outside and like a 5-course nice restaurant on the inside. It's like a Chili's, like, everyone loves it. You know what you're gonna get. It's everywhere. You're gonna go. You want to go to a Chili's because you know it's gonna be a good time and affordable. And you go there and you end up having a more complicated, sophisticated dish than you thought you were gonna have. But you're already through the door, and you end up leaving with a better experience than you originally perceived. So I like to tell stories. So, for example, the film I made with Netflix was it was about Black and brown inner city Latina Black girls in the woods, cheerleaders, bumping heads. They have to become a team, and they end up kicking major ass with these serial killers. And that's a fun story. You want to go in, you want to watch it. I'm like, oh my God, so dope. But the message in it is colorism, is not feeling Latina enough, is what are we as a community if we can't come together and see ourselves as equals, no matter how we look, no matter where we come from, no matter what generation we are. And that's the stories I like to tell, is those fun plots, and it brings people in, but you're going to learn, you're going to get something out of it. You're going to learn, there's going to be a message behind it. So that's always been like the focus and message through everything.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is there a filmmaker or filmmakers? What was your, like? So, all right, I'm a salsa singer, right? And my first introduction to salsa music was Hector Lavoe.
Oh,
and
yes.
And so that was my first inspiration. That was the first kind of style that I imitated that has informed my style now. I constantly get compared, or like, hey, you remind me of, you know, it's either him or Mark Anthony or whatever. But so who's your filmmaking Hector Lavoe?
Oh man, I love how you shaped it that way too. Because like I grew up with Hector Lavoe, my father bumping in the car. Like, I don't know about you, but it was like, I remember being with my dad, and we would drive, listen to Hector Lavoe. It's full blast. He's singing his heart out, and we can't leave the car until the song's over.
Love it.
Him singing it, and then we get low, and then we could go, what we're doing. But yeah, Hector Lavoe fan too, man. Dude, my Hector Lavoe. I want to say, like, I grew up with like early 2000s indie movies. So it was like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or Lost in Translation, or Be Kind, Rewind, Edgar Wright, Shaun of the Dead's.
Love it.
I love all those movies so much. Like Wes Anderson flicks were the shit. Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. Like all those guys, I grew up because the worlds were so fun and like imaginative. But like I realized it's like I'm not in it, you know, like that whole cinema culture. It's a lot of like I don't see myself. I see the human experience in it, but I don't see myself in it. So I like filmmakers now that are of diverse backgrounds that are also telling those imaginative stories, like Jordan Peele and Taika Waititi is like crushing it everywhere. So if I could be the American Latino like Jordan Peele, Taika Waititi, I'm Gucci, man. That's I
can dig it.
that's the goal. That's the dream.
How do you find yourself missing being in front of the camera? or let me backtrack. Are you in your own films?
Oh no, not at all. Tony, hey, Tony's awesome. Everybody, he has a really
Big
great
shout
film.
out to Tony Gabastoni.
Yeah, he's crushing it over there in Redwood City. Yeah, so I know. I think a lot of people think I like being in front of camera, or like they ask if I'm an actor or like even a comedian or something, and I'm just like, dude, I got out of college wanting to just make movies, and I got an internship offer at BuzzFeed, and I have student loans, so I was like, dude, whatever it takes to just get money.
Get your foot in and.
Dude, yeah, whatever. So I ended up in this world of digital that I didn't really even care about with YouTube, and I learned that how freaking powerful all this is. And then I was getting followers, and I was like, well, there's not a lot of people that look like me, in this position. So what I'm going to do with it, I want to like promote diverse stories. I want to promote mental health. I want to promote digital entrepreneurship. I want to promote these things in our culture. But to answer your question, no. I mean, it's fine. Like if a friend wants me in something, or like I feel comfortable being in front of camera. But yeah, I don't have that actor bone like that hustle in you where it's that extra performance. Like I can never do it like you. You know what I mean? Like you have this extra bone in your body that I don't have. Like I will record you looking like the most sexiest salsa singer alive. But as far as that in the moment thing, I let the pros handle that. The performers do that.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Well, you have you're a joy to watch. You know what I mean? So you have you're a great look, and you have a lot to say and share with the world. So I'm glad that you exist. I'm glad that you're doing this work and continuing to inspire our generation, older generations, and younger. You know what I mean? Like an important thing for us as creatives is to not get caught in ageism in both aspects. Like I'm too young to claim my space, or the opposite. It's a young man's game, and I'm getting too old for this. You know what I mean? I think as young people, especially young people coming up in a time where we have access to so much technology and have access to content and to be able to create content, it's important for us to inspire each other and support each other in order to continue to tell these stories, like you said, that these stories of underrepresented people. And as you can see, we are living in a time where we are fighting for representation. How do you feel we can get over that hurdle of the lack of Latino content, Latinx representation in Hollywood? I know a lot of times we're like, you got to write your own stuff. Yes, and
yeah,
there are. It's not that simple, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel we are dealing with this lack of representation at the moment? And B, what do you think we can do better as a community in order to claim our space?
Yeah, that's like the golden question, right? Like it's like I always tell people we are in the best time ever to be a creator of color, but we are far from where it needs to be. And you like, man, you got to think back when like all we had was Antonio Banderas, and he was not even like Latino, or he's from Spain, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's just such a different era, but it's an exciting one. And I think a big thing is it takes accountability from everyone at every level, and making everything more accessible than it was before. And so I'm on the come up where I know people who are TV writers. I know people who are TV directors. I can contact and communicate with those people that are higher up, and they could bestow information to me,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing it very openly and very candidly in a very and there's more opportunities than ever as diverse creators, and it's up to me then to talk to you and give that information to people that are young filmmakers that are trying to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So and to make it more accessible, like, so when I say accountability with us as a community, it's like there is no competition. It's like how can I benefit you openly? Like it's bigger than both of us. It's
Mm-hmm.
us, trying to put, like, I don't care if some random person's like, hey, can I get coffee with you? Yes, let's talk. Like, no BS. Like, we
Yeah.
need to come together and let go of the ego and the sense of competition, and just blindly and utterly support each other, from taking coffee and giving all your information you can to someone who's trying to come up, and give them keep and stay in communication with them. And then also, if there is content being made or something else, full on support that.
Mm.
And it's a slow burn, which sucks. Is like, we have the only reason why that Netflix opportunity exists is because of Pete Corona, who got the opportunity to be an executive at Netflix. And
Shout out to Pete Corona.
yeah, and he's the one that told those higher ups, we need this. And
Yeah.
they're like, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
and it takes guys.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. When you
Right,
think
right.
about consumer numbers and how much content our community consumes,
Yeah,
it's one of those things that it's like we need to find this balance somehow. We're consuming all of this content, but it doesn't reflect us.
exactly. And I'm hoping there's more shows coming, there's more series coming, and I hope the numbers reflect to give the higher ups like the okay to keep this going, because it's like we could do a lot, right? We could get coffee with everybody, we could chat, we could do all that, but still there is a small amount of people that have all the power that don't look like us, and they're the ones that are making those decisions. So
Yeah, totally.
luckily we have these diverse programs, and as for the young filmmakers that are listening in, and me having conversations with those creatives in those professional rooms, you matter as your background. So it's just getting to that stage, but just so you guys know that your difference matters. So if you're thinking, oh, I have to make this more generalized, but because I'm a first generation Nicaraguan single mother or single father, make it that way. Like, you're literally standing out by being specifically you. I know it's hard and it's frustrating at this stage, but I from what I'm hearing up, I want to give to you that be specific and be relentlessly specific. That will make you stand out. But
That's
that's
great advice.
You're right. The numbers are there, and it's just getting it to happen.
Yeah. Awesome. What do you have? So you said you do the Netflix film. Is it a short? Is it a feature?
Yeah. So it was me and 9 other filmmakers, and if anyone's listening to this, apply to it. It's free to apply. All these diversity things are free to apply, so please apply. But yeah, it was me and 9 other filmmakers. It was a short film. They gave us 20 grand to make it with that 6-month timeline. We got mentorship from different people in Hollywood, and then we premiered at the Chinese Theater for La Leaf Film Festival.
Awesome. Did it come out this past one?
Yeah. So it was dope. It was we had 5 indigenous Latinos and 5 Afro Latinos, and I was in the Afro Latino block, and it was super cool, man. Me and 4 other amazing filmmakers sold out the theater, and like it was
Amazing.
all like us, right? So it was like
Yeah.
our cousins were there, like our primos and primas, and like yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it,
the
like
party.
loud with it and stuff. It was a party, man, and it was so much love and so much like just excitement. So like that's why I'm like, I don't care if you live in Idaho and you're listening to this and you have an idea, dude, apply to these things. Like
Hmm.
this COVID world changed it up. Like I haven't lived in LA in like 2 years, and I'm the furthest I've ever been in my career. So don't let location,
Mm.
resources, anything hold you back from getting that story out there, because these initiatives are free. They're there, and the culture's there, and the people are there, and it's just putting yourself out there every single day and trying to find all the resources you can.
That's awesome. We got a comment here, and it is from Chai Tanya, and she said, "I am so proud of Eli. He's been manifesting this, and I'm teary-eyed seeing this coming to fruition." Ah, that's sweet.
That's
And we share that sentiment with you, Tanya. So I think something that you brought up is very important for me to repeat, which is location shouldn't deter you. And if one thing that the pandemic has done is that it's opened up this virtual world in a way that me as an actor have been afforded the opportunity to audition for projects that I may not have had the opportunity to audition for before, because now I can just submit my self tapes.
yeah,
And I'm in Chicago right now. I'm auditioning for things in LA, things I shoot in New York,
right.
in other regions. Whereas before, I moved from New York to the West Coast. I lived in Long Beach, California for a couple of years, from 2018 to 2020.
Wow.
And after the pandemic hit, I auditioned more than my entire 2 years that I was living in LA.
Wow.
And that's, I mean, there's a lot of variables, of course, that
Right.
go into that, but it's just a fact.
Yeah.
Like, I was grinding out in LA, driving Lyft, trying to make ends meet. And that's something that's another thing that we gotta kind of expose to young creatives, that we shouldn't get caught up in the glamour of things. Like it is so not a glamorous
Oh
industry.
my God. Yeah. It's so funny, right? Because like you know the biz and what it's all about. Like we like even as a filmmaker, like we're broke as hell. We're over budget. We're all sharing this small like hut of a place to stay. We're eating like granola bars and ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles, and
And
not ramen from a ramen spot, like ramen
yeah,
noodles from the
yeah, we have
supermarket.
slept in a week, and then all of a sudden a week later you're wearing a suit on a red carpet on Hollywood Boulevard. It's just like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like yeah, this is the game. So, but yeah, it's like was it I'm sure you could vibe with this. It's like I took an acting class in film school, and the teacher was really good at just breaking everyone down in like the best way possible. So it's all these bright-eyed, bushy-tailed actors. I did it because I wanted to meet actors. I was for my movies,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just like, you want to have kids? You want to have a white picket fence at 25? You want this, that, and the other? If you want to be an actor, it's not going to happen. And you know how they always say, oh, it could happen. No, she just was like, no. Like if you're okay sleeping on a floor in a cockroach infested apartment, but at least you get to make chump change or nothing across the street at some theater, but you get to act, then you could stay in my class. But
That's so interesting.
if you can't confidently say yes, leave. And it's true. It's
It
like
is.
you have to love it. Like you have to
Yes.
be obsessed. Like I could you see yourself doing anything else? It would be really hard to.
Man, let me tell you. I've been living an artistic life, or navigating an artistic career, for over 25 years now.
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old. I
Really?
started when, yeah, dude.
Dude, I thought you were like late 20s, like early 30s.
Thank you.
Good,
Oh man.
good for you.
I started doing spoken word poetry in 1996.
Wow.
You know, and since then, like I knew then, but at this point is one of those things that I'm in too deep at this point, you know? So the goal is, or the key is, to kind of try to find ways to, I mean, unfortunately, we live in a country where money is important.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So it's up to us to kind of find ways to subsidize our income in order to fuel our creative endeavors. And that's something that's important. If we go into this thinking that we're going to get paid, you know, it's a tough pill. And on the flip side of that, we also have to kind of figure out and acknowledge and own what our worth is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this tightrope act that we're constantly navigating, because on one end we need to kind of acknowledge that we have worth, that we are, and charge people for things, and you know what you deserve.
Dude, 100%.
Out of things like that.
Huge. I will always say, like, you're always going to be taken advantage of in some way. Like, if you ask for a rate, it's negotiated, so that means they could pay you more, but you agreed on a sum that you're okay with, and it's an opportunity that will help you move forward. So it's like, and
there's different forms of compensation. That's something to acknowledge too.
Right.
It's
right.
like, you know, there's money, and then there's the next opportunity. There's the learning, the information and the growth that you'll be gaining from these interactions. Like, for instance, and I'll ask you this question afterwards. I didn't train. I didn't go to school for this. I fell into it out of high school. My older brother's a poet, and I saw him doing a performance in his college, and it was just like, oh, I had wanted to be a rapper, and I was like taking all this time to finish one verse because I was such a like perfectionist. And then when I discovered like this Nuyorican poetry movement, it gave me license to tell my stories, and it also freed me from the constraints of the structure of a rap.
I like that.
Then it was like, door opened. Now I can just tell stories. I can sing. I can, you know, it was all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
However, throughout that journey, my training came from my collaborations with other artists, working in the theater with top-notch directors, and you know, shutting up and listening, you know what I mean? And learning from other actors. And like, each experience throughout my entire career has been a class, has been a lesson, and they each carried over to that. And I know that your experiences have done so for you as well.
Yeah, man.
Did you go to university? Did you have formal training in filmmaking? What was your training like?
Yeah, filmmaking's funny. Film school's funny because it's like 90% of what I learned that are practical that I use to this day was everything I did outside of class. Like, I went to film school in Chicago, went to Columbia College Chicago. It was cool, it was dope, it was diverse, it was fun. But yeah, it was a lot of people still telling me no, which I'm like, yo, this is film. There's no rules here. Like, I thought we're supposed to make mistakes. This is college. Like, but yeah, you got to be a rebel if you're gonna do art. I feel like you're literally doing it as against the grain of what society wants you to do. Like, you know,
absolutely right.
I think I learned a lot of lessons going up against the man, which was my college, and I learned a lot outside of practical work, but it was a safe space of meeting other creatives and collaborating on projects and hanging out. And I still have those connections to this day.
I love it.
Work with people to this day on sets and film that I met in college. So I went to Columbia College Chicago, and I was gonna drop out midway, and then I'm like, my mom hits you with, your mom hits you with the, you're my firstborn. You're gonna be a college student. I never got to go to college. I was like the first Vazquez to ever like graduate. So I was like, fuck, okay, fine. So I graduated, which was good. It was a good experience, but it's yeah, you gotta be careful and know you gotta know your worth even in film school, like, and know that the difference between art school and like being a pharmacist is that you have to learn an X amount and wait to be a pharmacist, where as a filmmaker you could create and do everything like today
while you're learning. Yep.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
So while you're in school, don't wait. You can literally get your career popping like while you're in school.
Yeah, that's great.
Right. So yeah, that's what that was. And because I always like, for young filmmakers too, just say yes to everything, even if you don't know what it is, if it's an opportunity. Because like BuzzFeed, I applied to be a producer, I didn't get it, but they offered a cinematographer job, and I did one cinematographer class in film school, and I got a D. So I was like,
I love it.
Want to get the cinematography? Do you know about cameras? I'm like, yeah, cameras, lights, all that. And straight to YouTube University that night. So, but you just figure it out. You figure it out.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah, it's a lot of practical outside, but also inside. But yeah, it's
which is inspiring and exciting about the entire industry, because you think about it's like you said, you don't have to go through the training and then wait. You can just do it now. I'm gonna open up the floor to some questions. So if you're here listening, I see there's 12 people in the room, 11 now. If you're there, feel free to ask some questions. I'm going to grab my phone charger right now before I get cut off. And I'm just gonna plug in. I'm right here. Give me one second.
You're good.
Awesome.
I have a few degrees from YouTube University. Exactly, right? Like it's you can learn everything, especially with art. You're always developing and growing as creatives and all that. So don't let that stop you. And also, while Flaco's getting his charger, I will say to everyone listening, don't let any space be bigger than you and who you are as a creative. Like whatever space you're in, know what the goal is and what you're getting out of it. So like if it was me working for YouTube, Google, no matter what the client is, or BuzzFeed, whatever, to keep that worth going, because you're providing value no matter what level you're on, So now I'm getting meetings with bigger stuff, and I learned that lesson early on to not, it's bigger stuff, it's exciting, but also giving value and a service that only you can give. That's why I always tell people, be specific to who you are. Then you really are at a negotiation table. But never think any space is bigger than you and who you are. That's the big thing.
That's great advice. And I can totally relate to it. It's like you said, how we can be broke eating ramen noodles one day and literally have to like dig up a suit from the bottom of a closet and iron it to go to a red carpet the next day.
Dude, I look so dorky at all the events. Like this year, I was like, I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna spend a little money on suits, because like on the Better Like team, everyone's so flashy and fancy on there. Like everyone dresses so freaking well, and I'm like, I'm from the Midwest. Flannel's nice to me, so really I did it together this year. I think I did a good job.
Good job, yes.
You gotta show up, show a little flair once in a while, So
it's important, and it's also important for ourselves. It's not even like an outward thing. It's important for us to feel good about ourselves, and yeah, man. Any other questions out there?
Yeah, whatever it may be. Or we could just both stare at you guys while you look at us blankly.
Yeah.
Like give you thug looks. until it like give us a question,
Big
Awesome.
shout out to my man RH Comedy. Thank you so much, brother. Much love. Please check her out. He has his DA. He's an amazing person, an amazing podcaster, and actor and guitar player. But also he has these custom made fedoras that are amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
So my brother RH Comedy, if you can put your hat IG page into the comments, I'll give it a shout out for sure.
Dude, put it in. How many fedoras do you got from him?
I haven't yet. I think that was my plug. Was
Oh,
it?
okay.
Was in hopes.
I was like, oh, man, you don't score yet. So I was like, yo.
Like I was saying.
It's like that for me all the time. That's the cool thing of like, yeah, so many friends doing like so many things. I'm like, oh my god, they just made a book, or oh my god, they got that thing. I gotta get a shirt, from the.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. I'm just getting up some info that I want to share, everyone.
RH Comedy. I'm gonna follow you, RH Comedy.
Yeah, brother, do. And maybe you can be a guest on his podcast. Him and his wife have a wonderful podcast. So once again, I want to share with everyone that that this is a part of a wonderful film festival, and we are accepting submissions. We lost Eli for a second. He'll be back. Hats by Wind is the hat store. What up, Alexa Cloud? I gotta get back in. All right, he's coming. Oh, check out this web series, Dad Rapy, like therapy, but for dads. Please check out the CINE Film Festival. This is the IG page that we're on right now. Click on the link, and it'll have some more information about our film festival. And please submit. I forget the cash prize for those selected. I think it's like $5,000 or something like that. Wait a minute. I see a question. Oh, the request. Yes, you can come. Yes, come on back in, Eli. Visit cineyouthfest.org. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you.
Dude, I was trying to get this fedora, man, and the IG messed up. Got it out.
So yeah, the hat store is called Hats by Wind. Hats by Wind.
Got Hats by. I think. Oh my God.
Yeah. Big shout out to my boy Gadiel in the house. Gadiel.
Hey,
shout out. Grand prize is $4,000. Grand prize is $4,000 for this film. So please submit. Requirements to submit, and is there a cost? That's a great question.
I think it was pre-submission up to a certain date.
Yeah, check out cineyouthfest.org. That's CINEYOUTHFEST.org. Check out cineyouthfest.org, and all the information will be there. Yo no tengo 5 pesos para mandarte, Gadiel. Yeah, I gotta visit Gadiel's cigar shop in San Diego.
Dude,
I can't wait. The next time I'm out west, we'll definitely hit my boy up. He's a great comedian and all around great person.
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal.
There is a $10 fee right now until the 30th of this month. $10 fee to submit your film. Grand prize will be $4,000. And I'll only take maybe 15% of the 4,000 of the grand prize.
Yeah, well, the small, use my code Flaco.
Yeah, exactly.
15%.
I'll put it in a good word for you.
I'll put in a good word, but I got 15% of it. See, now you're hustling, man. You see, this is how you keep that creative career going, man. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and got to yell
Cool.
big shout out to Cigar Shop too. I was there. We shot a Better Like video promoting it, so we got to check it out, and it was a good time. I don't even really smoke cigars, and they were really smooth. So yeah, shout
Awesome.
out to them.
No, I mean, it's so inspiring to see people of our generation progressing and also like owning their own businesses, and that's something that I see you also talk about entrepreneurship and things like that. What is a message that you would want to share with a young creative that you wish you had received as a young creative?
Oh man, yeah. I would say this, and I think about it a lot, and I get to like talk to college students and younger people, and I always say like it's as a creative, if you're not, you have to see it as the minute you say I want to be in this business, I want to be a filmmaker, I want to do this, understand that you are in a ocean, and the only way you don't sink is one, creating things, and two, networking, and three, finding opportunities and resources to help you get to that next level. So if you're not consistently doing those three, and it doesn't matter what level you're on, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the game, you should be always connecting with people. You should be always trying to find opportunities. You should be always creating something. I'm someone that fell off the wagon due to my own self-belief, and I wasted years of not creating and wasting time because I didn't feel like I deserved it. And it was the second I had that mental shift that did the work on myself that I did, I started sharing these ideas, and these ideas got me having Netflix give me $20,000. These are ideas I had since I was in college that are giving me opportunities. So don't be afraid to have the audacity to try consistently and authentically, and it's very practical. Every day, put on your schedule, put on your schedule at least an hour to how am I progressing my career through creating something, through networking, through opportunities. And if you do that consistently every single day, you will inevitably be successful. And if you're thinking of, oh my God, Eli, there's so much competition. One of my teachers that I really looked up to, she's a Hollywood producer. She broke it down like this. I'm like, hold on, I'll use this to give the best example I can. Hold on. All right, this is a little wonky angle, but there's like this many people doing what you want to do. And then there's this many people that actually are trying. And then every year that goes by, this gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's more just a time thing. So there's this amount of people that are doing it. It's this amount of people that are actually hustling and doing the work. And it's this many people that are like talented and doing the work and then developing their skills, and they get smaller every year. So just take the time to do it consistently. Discipline is what wins. There's so many talented people that don't have any gigs, and there's people that not as talented that have whole deals, and it's because they're disciplined and consistent. So if you do that every single day, you will be fine. So
that's great advice, and I wish I had heard that myself, and it's something that I needed to hear right now, because you can kind of it's easy to feel like everything is against you. It's easy to feel that you don't deserve the space, and that no one wants to hear your stories and things like that. And it's important to acknowledge that you are important, that your voice is super important, that no one else has your perspective on things. Like there's no new story per se. It's all about the angle you tell it in. It's all about the perspective that you're sharing. And I think it's important for us to claim our perspectives. It's important for us to acknowledge that our stories are important, and that there is a market for our stories,
Oh,
and we need to acknowledge that. Man, I've had such a wonderful time having a conversation with you, brother, and I look forward to us continuing our dialogue. I look forward to the possibilities of working with you someday.
dude,
Um,
you were living in LA when we bumped into each other. I was like, oh, he's like visiting or something. Like, I had no idea you were living in Chicago now. That's crazy. So,
yeah, I've been
yeah.
here for about like 6 months now, and I
Oh,
absolutely love it.
oh, you came at the perfect time then. Summertime shy, man. You got to experience
And
all.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah,
And
brother.
I've experienced the winter too, so I can appreciate the bone chill.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you get it. So, but now that I know that you're here, I'm in Chicago a lot more often to see family. So then we could break some bread. I want to eat in Humboldt Park. I haven't ate in like since 2020. So I gotta.
Holla at me, man. I'm on Division Street.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
go. Say
Yeah.
less. Love it.
Cool, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. My name is Flaco Navaja. I've had a wonderful time speaking with Eli Vazquez about everything from filmmaking, inspiration, advice, being a young creative, being a Latino creative. And you're truly an inspiration, and I appreciate you, and I wish you nothing but the best. Please sign on, log into CINE. Let me give you the right one. Let me give you the right thing. Give me a second. Um, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
scrolling up real quick. Come on now.
And
Here we
yes,
go.
thank everybody for listening to me talk and everything else. Appreciate it.
Yes. Please log on to cineyouthfest.org. That is CINEYOUTHFEST.org. Submit your film anywhere between 1 minute to a half hour. Half hour is the top, is the cutoff. Grand prize gets $4,000. Continue to write your stories. Write, write, write. Write your stories. Read, read, read. Read things from people that look like you, that are from your community. Support independent artists. Support independent films. Support Latino programming, especially on major platforms.
Yes.
Let's show the world that we have the numbers, and with those numbers come power.
Mm-hmm.
So, power to the people. Let's enjoy ourselves, and be safe out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Pleasure,
Flaco.
brother.
Talk, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.